Okay, hello. So I've been struggling a bit just staring at my screen. So I thought I would do a stream to get a move on because I made some changes to the agent. So I used to use a function to identify when an agent is done doing some work and then move to the next agent. But now I'm doing prompt engineering instead. So what you can see here is that you create an agent, give it a description, and then you define a JSON schema of data. So this is trackable data that the agent produces that you can use like in your code predictably, hopefully, to figure out what to do. Mm, And then when you generate the prompt, you get the prompt from the user or another agent, and you get the data. And then you can create the prompt that makes sense related to the data it has. So in this case, it might not have any, or if it has user stories, I'm giving it the user stories. I cannot rely on those user stories being in the actual context, especially with GPT 3.5. But if we don't have any, and I give it the user stories and then I give the prompt. But if I don't have any user stories yet, I give the prompt and then I say, please suggest some user stories. So this is interesting. I really enjoy like exploring these APIs to do prompt engineering because it's not just about like natural language generalizing what the agents should do. They should do act differently based on their state. In this case, their data. And then it's the same when it generates the response. If we have user stories, I want to show those user stories reliably, and then the response. So there's some stuff going on under the hood here. I don't want to go into that now. That ensures this data and the actual user response to show to the user and stuff like that. But now I'm thinking about state. So what I really want to try here is that I'm using this product manager now to just ask for some user stories, and I need to validate these user stories with an actual engineer because these user stories are very created without the context for web applications. I should probably be specific about that. The web I should be able to do. They are very generic. Like they don't point to like specific elements of interactions and stuff like that. So I'm gonna try to validate with an engineer agent that has a different description. Like it's an actual engineer that reviews the user stories, and then updates them with any details. And to manage that state, that happens outside of the agents. So I need to do that in the agents flow. And then we have to create another agent. And this is where I'm not sure what I want to do because I have an engineer, but that engineer is there to review the implementation plan, which is different. Like here, I wanted to go and look at the file structure and everything to kind of make that implementation plan as specific as possible. But when I'm just validating user stories, it's something else. And I also want feedback from a UX engineer, right? So that it has some specifics about how it should look. And the question is, I have this engineer role. Should the engineer role take on different prompts? Like, should you define different prompts for an engineer? So the description is quite generic, and we don't have instructions there anymore. But then you have different prompts. So you don't have generate prompt. It would rather be, let's see, prompt, and then you would add different kinds of prompts. But then the complexity is the data. So the data is tied to the type of prompt, right? So this is, so for an engineer, if I'm gonna have an engineer that's both validating user stories and implementation plans, like the data would either be user stories or implementation plan. And that doesn't make any sense. So it really is a different agent. But it just feels bloated in some sense. But maybe it's more how I define these. Maybe I should not have like these files, like they're quite short. So maybe we should try that. Let's just shove this stuff into, yeah, I'm gonna change agent to, yeah, so we're not gonna have state here. I don't think it makes sense that these agents have their own state. We can change that later. So it will be like this, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna fix the typing here later. Yeah, so we also need to fix some stuff. Let's see. Yeah, not sure what this is about. Parameters. Oh yeah, excessively deep. Yeah, it is excessively deep, but like it's a JSON schema. It won't be endless. It's kind of annoying that I get that message. Let's just ignore it for now. What were we doing? Yeah, we have agents here. Let's just create a new file called team. And let's put the product manager team. I'm gonna export the product manager and export const. So the question, like, what am I gonna call these agents? Like, so there aren't really agents. So we think about agents as a persona, right? An engineer, a product manager, but they're not really that. Agents are, a persona is part of it, but it's a very specific thing. It's more like a type of prompt. So an engineer might be one role that has different prompts, and that's what, yeah, again, why I'm thinking about like it would make more sense to but then the question is like, what's the active prompt and how would you get the data? And no, it needs to be separate. But what I wanted to do, I want to create, I think we're gonna do oh, why aren't I doing, oh, it's coming from the outside. What should we do? I wanted to do like an agent create thing. Yeah, I'm not sure if it even makes sense to have like a class here. Like everything, there's nothing. No, it doesn't make any sense to have a class. So let's export function create agent. We're gonna use this thing. And then we're just gonna return the agent. Oh, I need the generics. Give me the generics. Agent, and we're just gonna return. Let's see. basically going to return what I'm doing in the constructor. Yeah, but we do need, oh my god, it's going to return. So it needs to return an iAgent. Okay, let's just finish this. So let's see if we can generate response. So we have name, agent name, functions, agent functions, description, agent description, model, agent model, data, agent data. It's actually a data schema, but yeah. Then generate prompt should be string and potentially D. We might not have data, I think. Yeah, generate prompt. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. When we return iAgent, this should be populated by itself, I think. Generate response. Okay, so yeah. So the thing is that we're actually passing in an iAgent here, the interface of iAgent. So I think if we do this NFD, and then we create an interface. I'm getting into typing stuff. I shouldn't really do that. I just can't help myself. So let's add the generics here. And there we go. So now we have an iAgent. Can I do like, oops. Can I do it like this? Did I have one too many? Oh. Would this work? Yeah, this can't be constant. I'm not sure. Maybe I could just extend. I'm gonna try that. Let's see what happens. T extends iAgent. Any. And then this becomes T, and it also returns T. It just returns it. Let's just say agent st. Yes, we're just enhancing it basically. Maybe I tried to like do like an extend class thing, but that was just horrible. Okay, so let's try calling it iAgent instead. Hopefully nothing breaks. iAgent. What's wrong here? iAgent. And iAgent. Okay. Let's try this. So we have create agent. So this feels better, except it didn't work. Yeah, it's not able to infer it. I think I need these generics to actually be on the... So we're going to change that. And then this is going to be a const, and this is going to be an iAgent of NFD. Just going to see if this... Yeah. Okay. Oh. And then I wonder if we can just do this. No, can't. Oh, is it because I have ST? What if I do this now? Can I do this? Because now it's not like the same, but it looks the same. Okay, nice. So we're going to create another agent here, which is product manager engineer support. I don't know, like this is the thing that bugs me. I can't like conceptually quite engineer, PM engineer. Okay, product manager engineer, PM engineer. Description: you are a senior developer. That is an expert on user stories. That is an expert on ensuring user stories has enough technical details. And then the data here, I'm not sure what that's going to be quite yet. And then we need to generate prompts, and we need to generate the response. So the prompt data, response data. Okay, cool. What are you complaining about? Oh, model. GPT 3.5 turbo. Right. Yeah. Cool. So let's yeah, let's just call it PM engineer. You're seeing that. So when we generate the prompt here, the prompt is actually coming from the product manager. And I don't think necessarily... Yeah, it's going to be interesting when we do the handover here. When we do the handover, we should get the data, and then we can generate the prompt with the user stories, which will just be part of the prompt here. So let's say that we give it the prompt, and then we're going to say please suggest, please review these user stories and suggest and update them with technical detail. Like, prompt engineering is way more than just composing them like this and giving it relevant information. Like the wording, using specific words, like there's so much in that. And that's also interesting. Like you kind of think these models are able to just understand your intention, but they aren't. They are no better at understanding your intention than like a normal human being. And maybe even less so, because they're so knowledgeable about everything. So they much more easily, like, I don't know if hallucination is the correct term for it, but when it doesn't have a very, very specific prompt that states the exact intention, it doesn't matter how powerful the model is. it will still have a lot of ambiguity in it. So when we create these agent flows, we create less ambiguity for the model to respond to, I think. Anyways, so this will generate a response. And I think we should just return the response in this case, because we're not going to actually use the data. We're going to, but we are going to describe, we're going to make it. So the thing now is that it would actually put the updated list in the response, but that response is like, you can't, it's just text and you can't parse it reliably or anything. But if we now put user stories, and the reason I'm using snake case here is because it seems these GPTs, they seem to be trained on most snake case examples. Just feels more reliable. I might be completely wrong about that. So this is an array of, do we have array? Updated user, and we have to be like, the names of these things are part of the actual context and language used by, so it's a string, oops, that's the string, the updated user story. I should probably have we can look at an example without having this PM engineer, and then we're going to compare the result. The list of updated user stories. Cool. So now we have our PM engineer. Let's see if we can actually start this thing, and I can show you. Oops, can't. Oh yeah, sorry. Agent flow. Star as team. Team.product product manager. Does it start now? Did I do something wrong? No, okay. So the state of this now, like I had this full flow and I learned a lot about that, but now I'm iterating on the API. So I want a task management application. And this is the kind of ambiguity we have to deal with. Like I talked to a colleague earlier. Oh, did I do something wrong? Category properties undefined. Reading description. Where? What did I do? Oh, this dot description. This is my bad. Team. Oh, it's in the, wait. Oh, sorry. Agent. Oh, god damn it. So this needs to be, well, it shouldn't be this.data anyways. Generate prompt. I think I can make this like, it should be the, agent. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Agent, this is the schema. That's agent data. Should call it. Yeah, I think this is fine. I think. Oh. And here you can actually see how the prompts are. This is the create agent. And what it does is that when you generate a prompt, it brings in the description of the agent first to kind of set it like, this is you. And then this is how it makes sure that there's a valid JSON schema. That's the output. So that's the thing. I used a function call earlier, but it was kind of difficult to ensure that I actually call that function. So now I'm ensuring that the response, the actual output of the GPT is a JSON schema or a JSON response. The problem with that is that you don't have streaming anymore. So I'm not sure if this is the best way, but you don't really care. With the end goal of this, you don't care about the output, the text output. You just want it to do stuff. So I think this is better. Anyways, wait, what's happening here? Am I doing? I'm having. There's this race condition happening. Yeah. God damn it. I'm not sure if it's impacts. Maybe I should explore it some more. I can't imagine its impact. Anyways, I want a task management application. Let's see if it's running now. Yeah, so here you see I'm streaming the JSON, and then I did another mistake. Can set properties? Oh, setting data. Oh, excuse-moi. Yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna say let data, and this would actually be this would actually be this, but the maybe this. Yeah, I guess it understands that by its own, but yeah, it doesn't really care about this. So let's just do let data, then we'll say data equals data, and now what we want to do is, I'm not really sure we care about this. Let's try without it, because we're not actually consuming it anywhere. I think the data needs to kind of be handled on the outside. So let's try again. This annoys me. Why is it? The thing is, it's rendering, but there's an issue with promise. So React is rendering, and then the promise resolves without notifying. So there's, I don't understand how it can happen. Yeah, but I don't want to debug that now. Let's just, but now it happened very consistently. So annoying. Yeah, like it happens every time now. So annoying. God damn it. Are you serious? I want a state management application. So it doesn't get more ambiguous than that, right? So blah, blah, blah. And as I mentioned, it doesn't have any user stories. So now it generates them because it didn't have any. So like I'm making it more reliable that it actually suggests some user stories. Oh, did I say state management? I wanted to do task management. Anyways. Oh, that's why I was wondering, like I tested earlier, like what the hell are these suggestions? It's because I'm writing state management. Okay, this looks great. Yeah, so these are the user stories, right? And now what I'm gonna do is yeah, so this is what I've been thinking about. So one thing is generating this data and pass this data to different agents. Another thing is when should it do it? I can make the agent keep data where it defines its own state. So we can try that. So let's extend this because I just got an idea. Let's extend this to be user approval. And then this is going to be an enum of approved pending, I guess. If the user has approved the suggested user stories. So hopefully it will now, we can just test this. I want to see if we can create something reliable. Oh my God, this annoys me. So I'm gonna just, so we can see the problem here. This is so annoying. So the problem happens here. Console.log rendering editor store state. So this promise actually updates, but it doesn't cause a new render, which annoys the hell out of me. I want a task management application. And user approval pending. Okay, this looks great. Oh, it's still pending. So this is the tricky part, right? How do we make it has user approved? True or false? Boolean determining if the user has approved as suggested user stories. Yeah, it's interesting. It's very interesting. Yeah, so here we have this promise. It says pending, but it is fulfilled. And the reason it says pending is because the actual promise has updated. But for some reason, and I know that the signal is also being updated, but there aren't any observers. Which I don't understand. Why aren't there any observers? Yes, and there aren't any observers because the React is accessing this promise during its rendering, but the subscription doesn't happen until like a tick has passed. So, god damn it. Am I really going to dive into this? Oh, Twitter. Oh. I just have to take a look. I just have to take a look. Update the latest editor. So when the signal tracker. So what happens is that it will notify. So when it creates a fulfilled promise and then it notifies. And when it notifies, it goes through the contexts. But there aren't any contexts. Wasn't that the thing? Okay, I'm just gonna, I need to make this folder impact. And then, oh, did I, yeah, store. An index. Cool. impact react. So this would be, oh, this is annoying. Workspace. What is this preview thing? Why does it? Replace preview? That's annoying. Anyways, so if this happens again, we are just gonna look here, signal and notify. And then resolve promise value. Okay, what were we actually doing? Oh, it actually happened. So there aren't any contexts. Okay, let's look at when it actually gets the value. Register getter. Wow, it happens quite consistently now. Okay, so there aren't any observer contexts. But it's rendering. Okay, yeah, but this makes sense. So it's rendering. There is no observer context. So it's just returning the value. Why is there no observer context? That doesn't make any sense. There should always be an observer context. Observer, here we go. Is this something? So it seems like this isn't on consume isn't fired. Oh, it's kind of nice that it's okay. So there's no active store container. Why isn't there an active store container? Oh, so this is interesting. I think I have just a It's some kind of race condition. So undefined, and even component consumption hooks is consuming is false. Why is that false? I am very confused. I think I can just refresh, by the way. So there is no current dispatcher. Oh, could it be? Ah, wait a minute. Get null. Wait. So I'm getting nothing. There's no dispatcher. But still. Does this mean component consumption hooks should be true? Let's see what happens. So consumption. Well, it didn't fix it. What the hell is going on here? Oh, because it still doesn't have an actual active store container. So what's happening here? It's running the component. This is just wrong. Like, why does it need... Oh, it shouldn't be an active store container, of course. Yeah, so that's correct. So what the fuck undefined true? So this runs... Wait, yeah, this should be running. What the hell? Wait, where was it? So it should be calling on consume, but it isn't. But it is observer. Sorry, it actually calls observer, which means it creates a context. But when it does guts value, there is no current. But this should happen when we create. So when we in uStore do new observer context, where's that? Why isn't there an equal? What the fuck? Don't we? What? Current. Oh, of course, we're adding to the stack. Sorry. So whenever we create and then when we dispose, okay, disposing. Oh, I think that's the problem. It's not disposing. It's not the. So, where is the thing? Where's the crazy logic? Oh, because it's not. Yeah, it's not setting the dispatcher. That's the thing. That's it. So, that's the problem. Where's the dispatcher? So the current dispatcher is null. And it gets it as null. But then for some reason it doesn't set. Why is that happening? Notifying one. Change in the order of hooks. So it's observer rendering, notifying one. Yeah, now it's not calling the observer anymore. Why isn't it setting the dispatcher? And why is it doing it sometimes? I need to look at the. Okay, this is going way off script, but I really need to fix this. It's been bothering me like crazy. So they're doing the same here. React internals, React current dispatcher. That's also what I'm doing. I wonder if yeah, they're doing exactly. I guess they have the same problem. I'm wondering why. And why did it like completely stop working now? That doesn't make any sense. I am confused. Okay, I'm gonna try something. So there's no dispatcher. Is this something they've changed? They've probably changed it to. God damn it. Hee-ho. Oh, sorry. Of course, I need to actually consume a store here. Reading next. What's happening here? Observer. But now there is no hook. Because it's not like fine. It's not setting the dispatcher. Why isn't it setting the dispatcher? Which version of React am I running? But this worked, right? But now it's like reliably not working at all. I'm wondering if it's like, is it duplicate React? So let's see. Where's my, does client have its own install? Package JSON. No. React. Let's search package. 18.2.0. Like, are there different versions of React here? Where's the actual, how do I check the actual top level thing? Packages. Is it like no modules? To yeah, it's or maybe how they do like or no modules. Yeah, what is happening and why does it fail only sometimes? That makes absolutely no sense. now it's like it's not working at all. I don't understand this. And all the code is using impact react, nothing there. Impact react. Yeah, editor store. At least that's using it. I am very confused by this. No, it doesn't work at all. Is that because I'm using the internal thing here? So if I were to change this back to the package, would it then suddenly work? Which version of Impact React is this? 128. Yeah, it is the latest one because it has the client fix. Oh, for fuck's sake. I think that's all. There we go. This comparison thing, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. God damn it. Like now it's suddenly not working at all. No, suddenly it works. I don't understand this. It works. Okay, let's move back. Oh, for fuck's sake. Wait, and now it's... Wait a minute. Is this a build issue? Okay, at least it is running. Okay, but now let's okay, even more confused. So it is setting. Okay, so it's okay. Let's look at this. Now we got what we want. Oh, I think it was when I did this. It would kind of, yeah, it would fail on that stuff. It wouldn't save properly. That's what the problem was. But if we comment it out, it will rebuild correctly. Okay, so yeah, but now I don't know if it's wrong. Okay. So, but let's try to reason about this now. Come on. So it's going in, it's rendering, observing. Okay, so there seems to be a scenario where, let's see, store. It's going in here to, this is failing. So it's rendering, I'm accessing, observing, and then it triggers rendering again, and then it disposes. So this shouldn't happen. There's something wrong with this check. So that's where I think I'm wrong. So is exiting component? That's the thing I want to check. Okay, so I think we should just do this. I think this was a too simplistic check. So is exiting component. Oh, it's type. This is so complicated. Where is the check? Browser dispatcher type. Where are these? Yeah, I was looking at these checks. So this check is wrong. Warning dispatcher type, browser client dispatcher type. I don't understand this stuff. So this is where they set the type, and they set a browser client dispatcher. Re-render. Like, I don't care about these things. I just care about is entering. Where is it? Is entering, is restarting, is exiting. Context only dispatcher type. So I'm just doing this in the browser. So I think that's fine. So we really only need context only dispatcher type. When does it set that? Yeah, exactly. So dispatcher.useReducer equals dispatcher.useEffect. That's what I was relying on. Context only dispatcher type. But this is not true. Oh, I think I need a re-render as well. The development re-render dispatcher invokes a function called re-render reducer, whereas the update. Yeah. It's the re-render. That's the thing I'm not taking into account here. So So if those are equal or use reducer impl, where's that coming from? I don't think we need to. Yeah, we do. Is that the new dispatcher? Yeah, I think that's the next dispatcher. Okay, let's look now. Oh, that didn't work. So would it be like this? For fuck's sake. So get dispatcher type is used. Where's that call from? Is exiting. Current dispatcher type. This is so complicated. Let's try using current dispatcher. Fuck. So annoying. Maybe I am having a build error again. No. So it's I have a feeling I can simplify this. So the point is it's going through, it's rendering, observing. So now it's setting a dispatcher that has throw invalid hook error on. Oh wait, should this be on the getter? Is entering. No, it's on the setter. So for some reason it says it's setting invalid hook call. Seriously? Oh, god damn it. I have a session. It's saying that why is this like I'm rendering? It can't be invalid hook error. Oh, it's the current, sorry. So next dispatcher, let's just remove this stuff. Oh, use reducer. Yeah, so now, what? Why is that throw invalid hook? Oh, sorry, here it is. Function reducer. That's fine. Setting an observer. But then here it's re-rendering again. This is what I don't understand. It's rendering again here. What kind of dispatcher is that? So is there any sign of I find this very, very curious. So it's rendering twice. Is that why it has this lock? No, that's something else. It's almost like I should just copy this thing. It's kind of annoying. But can I, or could I use this? React runtime. Get is entering component render. How does it, oh yeah, use signals implementation. And then it gets that from here. Store usage. Create effect store. No, this is like, yeah. Why did I get stuck in this? Is there a way I can understand this on my own? Like, what I can see here is that we have this dev thing. But I wonder what this it's insane that they figured this stuff out. Do I even have, am I using strict mode? No, I'm not even using strict mode. So there's something else going on here. So if I were to strict mode, it would actually work. That's interesting. So But this is what I don't understand. Like, it says rendering, and it says rendering here again without disposing. So it shouldn't really work. Rendering, rendering, and then disposing. So but it's just synchronous. Oh, is that what the lock is? Oh, maybe that is what the lock is. Maybe that's what I'm missing here. Okay, so the lock is really just there to... Okay, so we have some... Oops. So what if I were to... because is there a check up there when they lock? Yeah, it just returns. Of course, that's it. It's a synchronous lock. So let lock equals false, and now we're gonna lock it. Because the re-render happens like during this thing. Do they open the lock every time? No, they only lock it when it's actually doing its thing. So let's try to do that. Oops. So lock equals false. Well, it didn't fix it. God damn it. Does it start out as false? Oh, wait. So the lock should be true when we are entering. Oh, okay. And then when it's exiting. Oh, wait. It's when we enter it. Oh, I think I see now. So, okay. Component consumption hooks. So on consume shouldn't be called. When do we call on consume? This is where we call on consume. So the lock needs to be higher up. So let's just put it way up here. Lock. So when we consume it, lock equals true. Lock equals false. And there's no lock handling related to exiting. So this is not where we do it. I'm not sure if it actually fixes it, but now we should have... Yeah, that should cause a problem, shouldn't it? Okay, let's log the lock just to see if it... Okay, so I'm pretty sure this is the issue. Like there's some synchronous re-rendering happening. And wait, do we have an error again? I don't trust this. Oh, and maybe I have to actually restart to... No, I shouldn't necessarily need to do that. But let's do it. Okay, but I think I'm going to stop the stream because this is boring stuff. Well, I guess I can just keep it running. What is locked? Okay, so there's no is locked happening here, which I find curious. Which means, let me look at the code again. So when it enters the component, it does a lock. It creates basically the context. And then when it exits, I'm gonna try something else. Let's remove all this. Lock false. So locked. Come on. Okay, so now it's rendering observer is rendering again, but there's no observer. Wait, do we have two different rendering here? That would be horrible. Oh, we do. My bad. So we are rendering with observer. It's disposing. Now it's locked. And it's rendering with an observer and disposing it. So this is kind of what we want. But I'm curious why it doesn't work. So let's remove some logging. But I don't think this really matters. Like, does it even matter? Let's just don't do anything related to the locking. Just, oops. Like, is there anything really different? Is rendering observer disposing? Rendering observer disposing. Yeah, this doesn't do anything. The question is, why the hell doesn't the promise... Okay, we need a new... Come on. I think all of this stuff was actually working. There's something else going on here. rendering what the fuck observer, disposing, rendering what the fuck observer. So what is the what the fuck now? It's that here. Rendering, it's not notifying. There it's notifying. When it's result, yeah, so it's disposing. And then notifying. And that's the weird thing. It's like, okay, let's look at the subscriber. Where's the observer? Hello, function observer. Dispose subscriber. Subscribe. It's funny that this works so well. It just sometimes it doesn't. It seems to be very specific here. Rendering, observer, disposing. That's fine. Rendering, observer, disposing. Yeah, and here we're notifying before it starts the subscription. This is the problem. So what I'm wondering is notify. When we say notify, we now have I think this happens synchronously. Maybe? I thought this is what use sync external store would fix, so that if there's a micro task that triggers between a render and the subscription, it will run the snapshot to see if something has changed. But it's calling the signal track. Maybe this is the problem. Wait a minute. So this is the signal tracker. And there are no contexts subscribing to this signal now. So when it's trying to notify the context, nothing happens. But context can be synchronously added to the signal. I do wonder if this happens. Like, this can't be synchronous. Yeah, because it resolved the promise here as a micro task, and it's immediately notifying. The thing is, this signal tracker, is there a way to, yeah, we have get value. So the thing is, so there is a context. Wait a minute. Add contexts. When is add context called? When we're subscribing. Yes, exactly. So Why are we adding that context? When we're subscribing, shouldn't it just be the update? Shouldn't we do this at the disposing level? So when we're disposing, that's when we go in and say, hey, these are all the signals I found. And then we go in and subscribe. But that's the thing. If we do... So this is the thing, like we didn't actually have a subscription. I don't understand this. Let's just see what happens, just for fun. So we're gonna move this, and then we're gonna see what happens. Yeah, so we have the same problem, and that is... Oh, interesting. Yeah, because it's notifying one, but I don't think... Oh, that's interesting. Why didn't it work now? Subscribe. Version. Where is the version updated? Oh, sorry. Observer context dot version. Where do we... Oh, okay. Okay, I guess this is fine. So we notify... Let's move this. Yeah, because that's the thing. We're notifying before we have an update, which should be fine, but it should... Let's go and also check the... Get snapshot. Yeah, let's see. So it's... let's also look at the snapshot. So it's going in, grabbing the snapshot, it's 0, because there's no updates to it. It's disposing, it's rendering. It's subscribing. It's getting the snapshot. Oh, this is weird. Because, yeah, sorry. So now we're notifying, but there's no update. Notify. Context notify. Got notification. This dot on update. This is so interesting, especially that it doesn't happen every time. Yeah, and it's undefined for some reason. But we are subscribing. Why doesn't the subscription? Why isn't getting the updated? Because it doesn't dispose the subscriber. Well, it calls that first. Subscribe. Get snapshot. Dispose subscriber. Subscribe. Get snapshot. That's when it resolved the promise. It has bumped. Let's see. Got notification. That's what I'm very curious about. How can on update, do I delete the on update somewhere? No. So I'm subscribing, getting snapshot, disposing the subscriber, subscribing again, still got snapshot 0, nothing has happened. Resolve the promise, notifying, snapshot is now new, but there's no on update. So that means that, well, these are different contexts as well. So let's add that. ID equals next ID. So let's add that as well. Subscribe. This is the thing, like React is doing so much shit. Like, why couldn't they? Sorry, it's not their fault. Because they're like creating 2 of them, but they're keeping. Oh, now it was working again. It's so confusing. Okay, so we're rendering, observing, getting snapshot for that context, and then disposing of it. Then we're rendering again, creating an observer. Now we have a new observer context, getting the snapshot. Nothing has changed. Disposing, kind of disposing doesn't mean actually disposing. It's just popping off the stack. So now we're subscribing to that new context. And it's checking the snapshot again. It hasn't changed. And then we dispose of that subscriber. We subscribe again on the same context with a fucking function. And then notifying. Yeah. And then who got the notification? It was 0. Why is it 0 that got the notification? Oh, is it because we're adding... yeah, which one are we actually disposing? So disposing this.id. Let's just move this back. Well, no, let's not move it back. So again, we are rendering, creating an observer, then disposing of 0. Or popping, let's call it popping. Popping 0, which means that when we render again, we create a new observer. Observer. Again. So rendering, observing 0, popping 0, rendering again, observing 1, getting snapshot, popping 1, subscribing to 1, disposing 1, subscribing to 1. Do we ever subscribe to 0? No, we don't. We never, that's the thing. We never subscribe to 0. So we're adding it. But it never starts the subscription. So it never removes them. So we kind of have to do this. But then it definitely won't work. Because now we get a snapshot, but there is no observers. No, sorry, here it's notifying. It's notifying before we subscribe. And this is what I don't understand, because now, oh, interesting. So this is so bad. Like, it's, how do you get around this? We kind of need, when it's popping at the end of the render, we need to register what signals it accessed. But if we do that, we create a memory leak. Maybe that is why it's so tightly integrated in Preact. Like, entering and exiting is literally like creating the like signal store on entering and exiting, while I'm not doing that. So what is interesting though is that yeah, but this is what I'm wondering. Like, when I'm subscribing, it's also getting the snapshot to see if something changed. So I'm having this feeling that this snapshot shouldn't be a snapshot on the context. It should be a snapshot on the signal. So whenever the value changes, the signal increases its value. And then the context has like, its snapshot is kind of like a snapshot of all the signal snapshots. So what should happen here is that when we subscribe, this should have changed. and then it will actually re-render. That, because this is what you sync external store is for. It's like if there's a late subscribe and the snapshot has changed, then it will actually re-render again. That's the whole point. So we're gonna work on that. Let's think about this. So we're not gonna have any kind of observer context version. We're gonna let each signal tracker will this actually fix anything? I think so. Yeah, I think so. So we're not gonna do this. Well, it's gonna have a snapshot, but this so this snapshot is gonna be get snapshot. Maybe we could even use the getters. I have a feeling this doesn't run during. We're going to try something. We can run the getter during component. Like, when do we actually call this? Go to references. Yeah, so we could drop this, and we could do an on get. We could register the getter on that observer context. Could we? No, we shouldn't do that. So the snapshot here is the thing is that we're adding the context to the signal. Wait, we do have getters here. Okay, yeah, we're gonna try something. So we're gonna return. Well, basically we need it to be a string. So yeah, the thing is, like, we're gonna populate like an identifier for any change signals. And if a signal has a value, we should be able to just iterate this dot getters. Oh, this is a setter. Okay, let's just try it from this dot getters, and we map signal dot snapshot. We're gonna give them a snapshot or version, and then we're just gonna join that. So this is gonna be a string, this snapshot. We're not gonna do this, but we are gonna say this get this snapshot. And on update is actually now a string, and we're gonna call it snapshot. And then we're gonna give our signals string snapshot. And then we're gonna give our signal trackers private version, which is 0. And then every time we notify, we're gonna bump this version. Well, I guess we can just do this. Can we? Does that actually mutate? I can't remember. Let's do this. let's do this. I can't remember. So every time we notify, we do that because we changed the value. So we can safely change the version. Let's see what happens now, maybe. Why isn't this? Oh, snapshot? No, version. Oh, it's private. Let's see what happens now. Well, it didn't work. Maybe we gotten a little bit further. Oh, I don't think. Wait a minute. Is it actually updated? Yeah, because now it's. Wait. Why is it increasing? I don't think it built. Let's try again. So why isn't this working? So we have observer 0, popping 0, rendering again. We now observer 1, get snapshot for number 1. Is that? Oh yeah, so this snapshot is like an empty string. That's why we're not seeing it, which is fine. We're subscribing to 1. We're getting a snapshot from 1. Now it's 1. We're disposing the subscribe. We're subscribing, getting snapshot again. I don't think this is reliable. Like they need. For fuck's sake. This is making me so mad. This is making me fucking mad. God damn it. I thought I'd fix this. Okay, let's try to read it again. So it's rendering, getting snapshot. There's nothing there. Rendering again. It's notifying. And there aren't any updates, nothing subscribing. So it's subscribing. Now it's getting the snapshot again, which has changed. And then it disposes of that subscription. It gets the snapshot. It renders again. It didn't do that before. So why isn't it showing anything? I don't understand. Why isn't it showing anything? Because now it's actually rendering again as it should. And it has changed the value, and it shouldn't. Getting promise. I don't understand this. Yeah, now it's fulfilled. So what's wrong? Why doesn't it show no workspace? Fulfilled. So what's the editor store dot? Pending rejected. Oh, where are you? No workspace. Why isn't it showing anything? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is this like not related at all? Why isn't it showing no workspace? What? What? Is there any... Does it... But there's nothing there. Why isn't it... Uh... Okay, now I'm even more confused. Why isn't it displaying anything? Is it because... But I'm not doing anything. Like, what's going on here? What the hell? This makes absolutely no sense. Pending. Fulfilled. What? Doesn't it... What? This has to be a React error. I'm extremely confused by this. So I'm subscribing. What the fuck? God damn it, React. So it's subscribing 0, 0. But now it isn't subscribing again. So it's, I don't understand this. So observing one, get snapshot. What's this? Get snapshot. And there's no snapshot there. And then it's popping, it's resolving the promise, it's notifying, got notification. Now it goes and grabs the snapshot again. Why does it do that? Oh, yeah, because of the update. It goes and grabs the snapshot again. Now the snapshot has changed. It's rendering again. And we're getting a new observer. It's getting a snapshot. Oh, is it because the snapshot has changed? It hasn't changed. That's it. So we're getting a new snapshot from a new context observer. But because it doesn't have any signals yet, the fucking thing is out of sync and it doesn't update. But if I add the context at the disposer, there's no guarantee that they're removed again. And then we have a memory leak. Why has React made this so insanely difficult for library authors? It's just blowing my mind. I have to reference the signals. Like there has to be some reference to the signals on the context after it's done rendering. Like there has to be. Oh, wait a minute. I know what we can do. I know what we can do. We can go in here and we can, when we dispose, yes, because I want to do this anyways. I think I found a solution. So this snapshot, this is going to be protected snapshot. It doesn't matter. It's going to be an empty string. And what we're going to do when we are registering a getter, we're going to say this snapshot plus equals signal dot version. And then, so that means that we're building the correct version of the context as we're getting. And then if we choose to subscribe to it, we actually register to the signals. But now we consistently have a context representing the correct version. Yeah. It still didn't work. Because observer 2 why doesn't it have yeah, because this is what I don't quite understand. I don't think we actually track the getters in a component. What? But we are going through the getter, so there has to be something going on there. Yeah. So updating snapshot. What it does mean though is like you might have signals, the same signals just changing order, which is not ideal. But that doesn't matter. That's like an insane edge case. Or you might like access other signals that just happens to be on the same version, which is not ideal either. So it should probably be something else, like a unique identifier plus version. But I don't understand why it still fails. So we're getting the snapshot on ID, but now we're getting snapshot on context 2. Which doesn't have... This is what I don't understand. Why isn't there any snapshot? It's as if it never rendered. Like, when do we actually register? So we've registered the getter if we have an observer context. I thought this was only for... That's derived. What is this? We resolve context. I don't understand it. Why don't we want to... But God damn it. The observer context, if not is resolving, isn't it? If it is resolving? I don't understand this. Huh? Component. So if it's equal to... But there is no active store container. That's the thing. Oh, is resolving store from component. That's why I was confused. That's fine. So registering the getter, but then I don't understand this. When we create a new observer, and it's getting a snapshot. So it's getting the snapshot before it's accessing them. Okay, this isn't working. This is actually not working. Fuck. It needs to be the same fucking store. Which I guess is why... Okay, so we're gonna do one small thing. I didn't think I had to do this, but we're gonna put the observer context in a ref. Let context ref. It's a ref. Use ref. And then if no context ref.current, context ref.current equals new observer context. And then context ref.current oh yeah. Amazing. Wait, snapshot. Oh, whatever. Let's drop that. Okay, then it worked. No, it didn't work. For fuck's sake. So what the hell is happening here? So the snapshot subscriber 0. So now we're using the same observer. And yeah, but that's the problem. I'm not these observers aren't built to be used multiple times. But it might render multiple times. So function observer. So we have to reset the thing. Current dot, let's just call it reset. So that means we need to getters, setters, new set, this dot on update, undefined. It still doesn't work. Did I have an error? No. So now, oh, sorry, we need to reset the snapshot. This dot snapshot. Oh, it never works. So rendering, observing, get snapshot, updating snapshot. You know what? I'm gonna throw this whole thing out the fucking window. I'm so sick and tired of trying to make React better. Like, there's so many challenges hooking into React's reconciliation loop. It's just insane. If I only used Vue instead, things would be so much better. I've tried so many times to get this to work reliably, but I just can't figure it out. Getting snapshot. There's no snapshot. And then where's it disposing? Do we have the dispose here? Like popping, sorry. And then we're popping it. So now it has its getters. It's resolving the promise, notifying no one. Which is fine because it hasn't subscribed yet. Now it's subscribing. Now it got an update. So now it has 0, 0 for some reason. I'm not sure why it has that. Updating. Oh, it's probably accessing it twice. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, yeah, because I'm not... Return. Yeah, there it is. Blah, 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 blah. Popping, subscribing. Now we suddenly have a new snapshot. So it's getting the snapshot. It's rendering again. We're still observing the same thing. But now when we're trying to get the snapshot, it's changed. Because we reset it. And we shouldn't reset there. We should... God damn it. We have to check. We should, of course, not reset there. Oh, this is so confusing. We can't reset here because this is before we're tracking. So we kind of need to... Oh, I think I know. So we shouldn't reset. Or we should... No, we should... No, we should reset. Reset, but we shouldn't reset the snapshot. What we should rather do is when it's done popping, we're going to generate the snapshot again. So I think it's better that we actually generate the snapshot at the end instead of kind of bothers me that we have to do... Okay, let's just do this getters for each signal. This snapshot plus equals signal dot version. It's still not working. So what the fuck is that? Like, they really don't want me to make this work. So we're down here, we're subscribing, we're popping, we're registering everything, we're subscribing here, observing. Now we're notifying. So this is fine. All of this is fine. So we're subscribing to that signal. Now we're resolving it. And we're notifying one. Oh. Oh, sorry. I think we should do update snapshot. So yeah, the thing is, like, it's not enough to just update private update snapshot, because when we're notified, we have to update the snapshot again. So this dot snapshot thing here, this is kind of, it actually doesn't take, okay, so we can actually remove this. It shouldn't have that thing. On update, it's just a function, and then it uses the snapshot to render again. So it's like, it just notifies that something changed. So what we need to do when it notifies is that we have to say this dot update snapshot. We have to go through, update the snapshot. So let's just say this snap, whatever. Still doesn't fucking work. So we're popping. Oh my fucking god. So, oh, are we actually updating? So when the signal so we are notifying, got notification, but now it says get snapshot is 0. That's not true. I just updated the version. This dot version. Notifying version 1, but it still says get snapshot 0. Got notification, got notification. Oh, we should at least say this snapshot. Now we build it up again. Was that the problem? Yeah, that was okay. Nice. Okay, we're getting somewhere finally. Okay, this is definitely the way to do it. It makes sense to me. Let's clean this up. Observer. So now we can just do and we don't need to do this. So I think what we can do is context equals current, and then we'll do and then we don't need these things. It's just TypeScript that kind of does the right thing. I'm very curious now if it still works if I put strict mode in. Yeah, it still works. Okay, great. Let's see. So what were we doing? We were looking at this. So we have this reset. So every time the observer context needs to track new things, we need to clear out we need to clear it out, and then it goes through, it registers the getters, and when it's done, we update the snapshots. And we update the snapshot simply by going through the getters and creating a snapshot based on the signal version. And this is a little bit tricky because I think we basically need, the signal tracker needs an ID as well. Oops. Signal ID. And then the context, there we go. This needs to produce a snapshot based on signal dot not ID plus, so like the string of these two. So I'll string this. There's probably a better way to, maybe it's faster to just generate. No, wait. We're gonna have a global version. So if you have the exact same signals running in the exact same order, it's basically a unique identifier for a signal. That's better. Next signal version. Well, I guess we can do this. Yeah. So now there's a global version of a signal. And this doesn't need an ID anymore. I think that's basically it. Where's all these what the fucks? Where's this coming from? GOTS value. I think it's here. Yeah. Where's the what the fuck? Nice. Okay. And then a renderer. Oh, what was there before? There we go. Console. Okay. That's nice. That was quite the journey. Cool. So what I think we need to do is take this thing. Let's reflect on this. So I'm not super happy about like iterating the getters and producing a snapshot like this. You could argue that no, we should like, what is the snapshot? Like, React needs some way to detect that it has changed. And you could give Now there has to be there has to be a way to identify, like what we could do is that we could grab the value of every signal, because signals are immutable. So maybe that's a better way to do it. Like we could do that. We could go through the getters and like compare them, like the signal values. But I don't think that's any more efficient. It's much easier to do this. They just have a global version and then whoop-de-doo, it will just work. We're gonna try that. Let's see if we can get this thing running. Let's save that. Oh, that's a const. Like so. I'm not sure. Yeah. Oh, did I break something? Should that update? It should update. But it's not updating. Of course. So why isn't it updating? Why is it different here? For fuck's sake. So, oh. Oh, it's probably... Oh, that's weird. Did I miss something? What the hell did I miss? Updated. But, doesn't return anything. So, it's updated. Context.length. So I'm definitely going in and updating it. But is not getting the latest snapshot. And that is because I'm resetting it. But was the reset? No, but the reset didn't reset the snapshot. I am confused yet again. So Why is it not disposing? I am about to explode. Okay, I'm gonna stop the stream because this is ridiculous. Ridiculous. What? Okay, let's see if we can have a happy ending of this stream. But why is it not disposing now? It makes. Oh, it could be because, yeah, the getter. Yeah, sorry, the getter hasn't changed, but it has. Even here, like. Okay, so dispose is only at the end of render, and what it's doing is it's updating, it's calling the getter. Where the fuck is this stuff? It's calling the getter to check if there's an actual update. And there should be, because it was previously 0. So the version, how could it be nothing? Oh, it has to be because there aren't any. So notify. How can it be no getters? When I notify, there are no getters. I don't get it. Or should we reset after we've notified? Yeah, wait a minute. At least that makes it more predictable. So I'm not so sure about actually removing that the on update. But we're going to reset the getters, because when we do on update, it means that we need to track again. That's literally what we're doing. So let's try doing that, and then we don't do this reset thing. What the fuck? Why is React so fucking unpredictable? So now we got one more count, but now suddenly it stops. Like, what the fuck? I don't understand why it needs to be this complicated. I really don't understand. Why? Why isn't it updating? Wait a minute. Is it is it a simple thing? Yeah, again, I don't think we shouldn't need to delete that thing. Maybe it's the signal tracker that's not. Oh. So it should definitely be next signal version. But still, like, why is it stuck on 1? I'm updating like crazy here. And then get is nothing. How can get snapshot be nothing? Ah, do I have to add a fucking ID again? Yeah, I have to excuse my language, but I've been at this for 2 hours now, and we were supposed to do something completely different, and I'm just incredibly upset. Get context.id. Like, it has to be a different context somehow. Get 0. But it's updated. Like, what? There must be a simple mistake here. Updated this version, context ID. Context. Updated 1, context ID 0. Updated 2, context ID 0. Updated 3, context ID 0. Now get, it's suddenly 0. Yeah, it doesn't have a snapshot. So why doesn't it have a snapshot? The only time I update the snapshot is after we dispose and when we're notified. So it must be, I'm calling on update and it's not causing a reconciliation. Maybe because this, maybe it's just gets worse. So let's do just the amount. So now I'm clicking once. We updated 1, 0. I'm getting the snapshot. It's the other way around there. And then clicking again. So we got 2, updated 0. So the next time I click, the snapshot is so that has to be 0. That's the reason it, yeah, suddenly the snapshot. Is it calling on update twice? Oh, I think it's notifying twice. Let's see. Dot notify. So update, yeah, it, oh, contexts. How is that possible? It's a set, right? How is this called twice? Index. Or is it like notify called twice? Okay, so notify is called twice. It is only one context. But for some reason, for fuck's sake. So notify one time. Now notify is called once. Wait a minute. Let's with the new version changed. So notify is called with version 1. It's generating snapshot with 1 in there. It's getting from the context 0, 1, count is 1. But then I click again. And now it notifies with version 2, which is correct. It's generating the snapshot, but there's nothing in there. So that means when we notified that time, it generated the snapshot, it cleared out the, so that didn't guarantee. Okay, so I am exceptionally confused. So for some reason, okay, does it have an actual update? Let's check. Unupdate. Oh, okay. I think this is it. Update. So let's see. I think this is undefined. This on update undefined. Yeah, you see that? Update func is undefined. But yeah, but that was after. Okay, anyways, if update, we're gonna reset it. Because if we don't have a subscription and we keep the context, then we also have to keep the getters and everything, right? Because we expect calling that update to reset. And there's only like one update for every context. It's still not fucking working though. Oh my god. I don't so calling update. So counter store rendering. I don't care about the count, just that it renders. And we have the getter. So the loop should be, well, let's see. It calls a snapshot. It goes into component, renders, does a disposal, generates a snapshot for the context. And then it checks the snapshot. Are we there? Now the store has changed. But it hasn't changed. This is also a problem. Like when I grab the snapshot initially, there aren't any signals there. So there's no snapshot. And then I do the rendering and everything's fine. The signal hasn't changed, but it needs to do another render because the snapshot has changed, because now I'm suddenly tracking signals. Ah, what does this mean? Does this mean that we need to do the snapshot tracking on the context? But why couldn't we do that? Yeah. I'm completely out of loss here. Like, this won't work. This just won't work. But the thing, like, it's so simple. We're updating the context. We're saying context you have updated. So next snapshot. So it should be as simple as this. Don't need any of this. We don't need to update the snapshot. We update the snapshot whenever we're notified that a change has happened. So this snapshot is now equal to next snapshot again. And then I guess this still makes sense. And there's no update snapshot. What did I do? I have some wrong code here. God damn it, what did I do? Oh no, I didn't do anything wrong. And now it fucking works. Why did I want to use the signal? Yeah, no, this is the right solution. I think it's just really difficult to think about this stuff. What did I do before? Well, let's move this stuff back and see if it still works. No, and now it fucking fails here again. Why does it fail? This is how it looks like when an engineer just gets batshit crazy. Like, get zero, dispose, get zero. But I had a notify in here. Oh, it's did I get a notify? God's notify. Did it actually get a notify on this? Yeah, so it got a notify, but did it have a context? What's that issue? Yeah, it didn't have any context. So when we go and grab the snapshot, we need to look at the signals as well. So how do we do this? How do we... Because what was the other solution? That was looking at... So there has to be a combination of next snapshot. Because even though we... because it still has... So there wasn't a subscription. So we hadn't added the context to the signal. So the signal was notifying to no one. But we had the signal. That's the thing. We have the signal. So when we... okay, but maybe this is the final solution then. So we have a private snapshot, and then And when we get the actual snapshot, what we're going to do is basically take this dot snapshot, well, and then we're gonna this getters for each signal, and then we're gonna snapshot plus equals signal dot snapshot. So we're gonna have a snapshot for signals and contexts. And so this ensures that this snapshot number changes whenever the context is notified that there is an update. This is what I don't understand. Like, why didn't the signal thing work? So now I'm back, like I'm trying to put all of this in my brain. So why didn't the signal approach work? Why didn't the signal approach work? I have to explain this, like I have to comment this as well. So it's like, next signal. I think I actually need to start. I think we need to do this. Let's do it with, because you have to be able to add these things together and get a new number. Let's do this instead. So whenever this snapshot next signal snapshot, and it's the same for this one. When this gets notified, let's do the same. And then this is just, the actual snapshot is a combination of the context snapshot and its related signal snapshots. No, it doesn't work. So what is going wrong here? This was working. So we're getting and I have to go soon, and this is going to ruin my whole fucking day. Calling update. So calling update is context notify this dot snapshot. So there's a context notify and it moves to 2, but I guess it doesn't have any signals now. Yeah, because now when we update, oh yeah, sorry, we can't make it a getter. So snapshot. So next snapshot. Okay, that's still. The problem is I'm going to add the signal snapshots to this snapshot, but it might result in a number that matches a different. No, that doesn't matter. That should be fine. Snapshot, blah, blah, blah. So when we notify, we say that this snapshot equals next snapshot, which is fine. But also when we register a getter, we say this dot snapshot plus equals signal dot snapshot. So basically, whenever the context is notified about an update, we have a new. Well, this is the problem, right? What if the signal snapshot is the next is the next snapshot? Like it kind of needs two numbers here. For fuck's sake. How the fuck do we make this unique? Like we can keep adding, but at some point, like this can add up quite quickly. Like imagine the number of, well, it's not that many signals. And like, it's not like, well, a snapshot of signals, they can change a lot. And then you have these really big numbers. Fucking React. So the thing is, I just need a changing value to indicate that something has changed. Maybe I could just flip a switch. Could I do that? Well, I don't know when it's actually consuming the snapshot. Yeah, no. So we need to increase the snapshot, but then whenever we register a getter, we need to change that value in a way that makes it unique. So we could just add the signal value or the signal snapshot. But if we do that, so what we could do is that we could have the context snapshot, which is an increasing value. And then we could have And that could be local, actually. I think. Yeah. But why isn't it enough to just have the signals? Again, why can't I just have the signals? So whenever we register a signal, because the signal might change, might notify. Yeah, I don't understand why I need this. What if snapshot equals 0? And every time we get a signal, we register its snapshot. But it could result in an, but this will always result in a new number, right? And we might notify. So we might know. So the thing is, we might notify the context about an update without having any signals registered yet. So it needs to change the snapshot. And if all signals share a common snapshot, we could pass that snapshot in here. So this thing doesn't know anything about the snapshot. And yeah, okay, let's try it. So notify, where's that being called from? So we have context, notify, the signal tracker. There's nothing else notifying, is there? There is. Signal. Oh, that's the signal notifying. So there's only one. So here we could actually pass this dot snapshot. We're going to try that. So we know that every update has a unique identifier across signals, right? And that's really what we need. So we're going to say snapshot is a number. And then we say this snapshot equals snapshot. And then when we register a getter, we're also going to update the snapshot. The question is, how do we ensure we need a maximum number? So whenever we register a signal, we want a maximum equals this array from this dot getters math max. Doesn't this work? Oh, map. So basically we're saying every time we register a getter, we're going to set the snapshot of the context to the highest, to the latest value. So we always get like the latest update. And then when we notify, we like every time we notify, we will get a new value. That's guaranteed because it's global. And then we also ensure if we have oh, but do we even need this? No? I wonder. Because there was, it can notify without a subscription. It can notify without a subscription. Let's try without it first. Okay, so I think that fixes, no, it doesn't fix that one. Because why doesn't this work? This is a scenario where it renders, it disposes, and I think it notifies before. Why does it get 0? Oh, it doesn't notify because there's no registered context yet, right? So, but it still has, yeah, so I do think we need this one. Let's try that. You could argue that it doesn't actually need, yeah, it's just kind of faster, I guess. Infinity? Math max. Why is it infinity? Why is it infinity? Get infinity? Oh, is it if it doesn't have any? Oh, I guess that's math. Yeah, that. Oh my god. Oh, of course. And we need to do this after we add this freaking signal. Yeah, that's the problem. Okay, so this should work now. In theory. Yeah, it seems to be pretty solid. So if we put this signal now into this one, and this is still working as well. Okay, I think this is it. And I can actually explain this. Okay, let's try to explain it. So console console cool. Was there any more console? No. Okay, so what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Where's the next signal snapshot? this global counter makes sure that every signal update is unique and every signal update is unique and can be tracked by React. We always keep the snapshot up to date. Content can be synchronously added back to. Oh, yeah. An update to a signal. Yeah, it shouldn't be here. So this should be here. A context can be notified about an update before React subscribes. Before React, why isn't there any? Before React, by passing the snapshot of the updated signal. Hello? Hei. Ok.
Men siden Emma skapte den greia klokka 5-6 da,
Ja.
så må nesten være ferdig. Sikkert blir det så sykt stress.
Ja, jeg er straks ferdig.
Ja, ok, det er supert. Herregud, jeg var på sånn...
Jeg har holdt på å streame, jeg har holdt på å fikse noe.
Ja, ok, ok, greit.
Hva er det vi har spist da?
Kanskje nuggetsene da?
Ok, greit. Ha det.
Ja, ha det.
Let's see. Context can be notified about an update before React subscribes. By passing the update between consumption and subscription. Between consumption and subscription of a signal. By passing the snapshot of the updated signal, React uses that snapshot to identify that a subscription is stale. That's exactly what happens. Like using external store, it does its subscription, but it also does a get snapshot and sees that it changed from the previous subscription. Like that makes a lot of sense. Which makes using external store better. Cool. But we also do this. When so this happens when we access signals why do we need to do this? Yes, when we access signals, we the context is reused across renders. That means the snapshot can go stale. Well, maybe it can't, like, because if it's tracking something, is this really necessary? We saw that it was necessary. Well, why is it necessary? What's the scenario? So it means that it's rendering and tracking signals. Yeah, it's because there is no context there yet. Yeah. So The context is not added to a signal until subscription, which means we should make sure the very latest signal snapshot is registered with this context, so that when the subscription occurs, yeah, so this is really the thing I was explaining here. Yeah, this was more this description. A context can be notified about an update between consumption and subscription of a signal by passing. We keep track of the latest signal snapshot tracked to enable React to see a stale subscription. To enable React to see a stale subscription and render again. And then here we're basically like just doing the optimistic thing. Instead of recalculating the snapshot, here we always know that we get the very latest snapshot as it was just generated. We immediately apply it. But does that mean, so when we notify, there's an update, it renders again. Yeah, but it won't render again. Yeah, here we only know that it was just, we immediately apply it, and React will now re-render on subscription because the snapshot change. The thing is that this doesn't cause the re-render. This just notifies it to get a new snapshot to see if it should re-render. That's the thing. So let's function observer. This is only a notifier. This is only a notifier. It does not cause a render. This value needs to change for a render to happen. It is also used to detect a stale subscription. If a snapshot changed between last time and subscription, it will do a new render. Okay, this is great. This is how it should work. And then let's update that. And let's commit this. Fix rendering. Yeah, whatever. Create PR. Fix rendering. Merge. And then let's move to the main branch and publish it. Okay, if you watch this, thanked for helping out. Wow, I forgot to turn on the, I should have turned on this one. Anyways, doesn't matter. We'll talk later. Bye for now.